It is a wedding celebration Indian style. 23-year-old Manish Kumar is getting married to 20-year-old Babita Rani. A lavish wedding in the Indian state of Haryana. The bride's parents had a unique precondition for the wedding. When my mother and my father decided about the marriage, they had asked first whether there was a toilet at the groom's house, so now there is one. A big wedding party and the expensive household items Babita's parents have provided were not enough to seal the deal. To make himself worthy of the marriage, the groom had to provide a toilet in the couple's home, a matter of pride and dignity and an unlikely status symbol. Fact is, there are more cell phones than toilets in India. Nearly half of India's 1.2 billion people don't have access to toilets, most notably in villages. The lack of sanitation is the cause of 1 in every 10 deaths in India. Diseases cause billions of dollars in economic loss, in part because there are so few toilets. It's a cultural issue, not economic. Villages have traditionally defecated in fields or other public spaces, and changing their behavior is a huge task. Which is why "No toilet, no bride" became a slogan that adorns walls all over the country, part of a larger total sanitation campaign by India's government. Until 2008, when we started this total cleanliness drive, only 40% of houses had toilets, 60% of the people were going out in the open. When we visited any village, we would encounter a bad smell. The total cleanliness drive is a massive effort by the government to change the way Indians think about toilets. The initiative, supported by the World Bank, involves rather unusual tools. Shaming the villages, for example. Praveen Kumar is a trained sanitation official who gets to the point. "Good morning. Who did this?" Of course, nobody admits. What follows is a lesson in hygiene, on feces in the food chain, and on dignity in modern times. And now I say this to the women. Nowadays cell phones have cameras and people take pictures by hiding in the bushes. You probably read stories like that in the newspapers. And while the older generation might be reluctant to change habits, children receive hygiene lessons as part of the morning drill in schools. Children, when we go out in the open for defecation, then the virus and bacteria are brought back to us by flies. It is horrible. We eat these bacteria that flies leave on the food. When we defecate in the open, then flies sit on it. One fly has 6 legs and it will lift the weight of 1 milligram. So, with 6 legs, 6 milligram. Toilets are affordable for the majority of India's population. A porcelain model costs less than $5 in stores across India. The cost for the structure of an outhouse varies with choice of material. Jasi Ramji lives with his son Tula Ram Dihaman in a modest home. They can't afford luxuries, not even a TV set. But they decided to spend money on an outhouse because nobody in the community can escape the peer pressure. Those who own a toilet save time. The people who own toilets do not fall ill. If you don't have a toilet, you feel embarrassed because people talk about it. You also have a problem when guests visit. Your guests would need to go outside in the open, but a lot of people don't do that anymore. Those who do not respond to peer pressure might pay a high price for non-compliance. Repa Kashyap, a 34-year-old village president in the state Himachal Pradesh, uses her legal power to keep the flies away from her village. If anybody goes out in the open to do their business, if anybody spreads any type of waste and dumps it, that person will be fined 1,000 rupees. A steep fine amounting to almost $20. Wherever you look in this village, each home has a toilet. A rare example of a community that has reached the total sanitation goal. Districts with clean villages have noticed a decrease in communicable diseases. Before the sanitation drive, we saw a lot of people coming in vomiting, people with diarrhea, cholera, black cough and such horrible diseases. The people defecated in the open and contaminated the water which they used for drinking. Bacteria and insects caused fatal diseases. Conditions that can still be found in many parts of the country. India's 2011 census counted 53% of households are still without a toilet or latrine. Despite years of campaigning, it is still a long path towards total sanitation.